This is such a weird area for me to record my video. The reason why I kind of picked this area because there's a window right there. It is currently like almost 1 o'clock right now, and I kind of want to, upload content because the last video I uploaded was almost a month ago. It's about to be 2 months, and I'm still trying to figure out where to take this YouTube channel, like where I want to go with it. This is my third time having a YouTube channel, so I'm hoping this is the last time I'll, I guess, create another one. But yeah, I do want to, introduce more of my personal life, still continue with some behind the scenes that I used to do on my other channels, and bring you guys along with me whenever I travel, and, show you my interests and stuff like that. So basically, not necessarily vlogging every day, but I do want to, build my social media presence, be an influencer, content creator. But I do want to, have sponsorships, brand collaboration, and as well, be able to travel, meet new people, and, continue growing as a person. For today's video, I will talk about how I got into Fujifilm and why I shoot with Fujifilm. And it all started with this camera right here, the X100V. At the time when I was gonna purchase this camera, the X100F was out, and a few months later they announced this camera, or like literally 2 weeks later they announced this camera right here. And thankfully I waited because the 100F was available and I was going to get it. And then there was like rumors going around that the 5 was coming out and it's gonna have like better features and stuff like that. So I waited, bought this camera, and to this day I still use this camera. It is my main everyday camera, my main travel camera, because I do have an XS10, which is the one that I'm using to record right now, but this is my main camera. And funny thing is, I never shot with Fujifilm. My first camera was a Canon T6i. Had that for almost a year, less than a year, back in 2017. And then I upgraded to the Sony A7 III. Had that for a couple years, I believe. And then unfortunately, I got burnt out. I gave up on everything. They didn't want to do any content creation, stuff like that. So I sold all of my camera gear, but something deep down told me, hey, just get yourself a camera. You're going to regret it. At least document your life with it. Do something creatively so I can at least express myself. So before I left the States, I went to Mexico for quite a while. I bought the X100V, and that became my travel camera. And to this day, like I mentioned, it is my travel camera, my everyday camera that I take with me, just because of how small and light it is. And as well, people probably won't take me as serious when I'm walking around taking pictures of this. And so yeah, first reason why I got into Fujifilm was because of the way I see it personally. To me, Fujifilm never came up as a professional camera. Hear me out. Basically, when people think of a professional photographer or videographer, they think of the big three brands, which is Canon, Sony, and Nikon. And anything outside of that is like a mediocre camera, or like it's those type of things that if you know, you know. But yeah, like when people starting out, like me personally, I only recognize the three camera brands: Canon, Sony, and Nikon. Me starting into photography, that was the big three brands that I was, looking at and focusing. All of those other brands like Olympus, Panasonic, which are Fujifilm, for instance, and I think there's like a few others that I didn't recognize as a professional camera, so never even bothered to look into it or didn't even do my research to see if there's any other camera brands. But that's the one reason why I picked up Fujifilm, because it didn't look like a professional camera or what professionals would use in a professional setting. So I just wanted to be different and, take professional pictures with a Fujifilm camera and see what I can do with it. The second thing why I picked up Fujifilm was because of the colors. It's so unique. It's so interesting when I'm editing the raw files on the Fujifilm. Like it's something that I couldn't even do on a Canon raw file or a Sony raw file, and I feel like it's so unique to Fujifilm that I don't know, like people can recognize that's a like you took this picture on a Fujifilm, and then the way how I edit my photos, people can recognize that, hey, this is like your work, because I can see how you edit it, or like the colors are so unique, or I don't know. But I've gotten compliments of the way how I color grade my photos and videos, that it's pretty unique, and when people see it, like they can instantly recognize that it was done by me. And the third thing why I picked up Fujifilm is the community. Um, like I'm not saying that all other brands don't have like a good creative or photography, or those type of communities, or like creative communities and stuff like that. But when I went to a photo walk, I believe like last week or 2 weeks ago, here in Houston, Texas, there were so many people that shot with Fujifilm, and the photo walk was hosted by a Fujifilm rep, so it was pretty cool. So there was people trying out the new X-T50. Unfortunately, I couldn't try it out because I got there half an hour late, and I ended up finding a whole different group that got there late as well. So we were doing our own photo walk, but eventually found the whole entire crowd. But yeah, it was just super cool seeing, like, you know, people shoot with Fujifilm, me talking to other photographers and their experience with Fujifilm. So that's one reason why I kind of like the Fujifilm brand. The fourth one is more like me personally, but whenever I upload content and shoot with this camera right here, and I tag Fujifilm, they always like my post, or not always, but most of the time they like my post, and it is kind of crazy to see like a brand like that is liking my post. And keep in mind that I don't even have a big following. Before, I had like almost 400 followers on my old Instagram before I deleted it, but on this Instagram, almost at 80 or 90, I believe. And the fact that they're liking my post was insane. Even the first post that I made on my new Instagram, I tagged them and they liked my post, and I had like about one follower, and I was following like a few of my friends and other things that I like to follow. And I don't know, it gave me a confident boost, to be honest. The fact that they liked my first post and I had like 0 followers. And yeah, and that's basically why I shoot with Fujifilm. And all this idea was not off the dome. This was actually by a YouTuber. Let me look up his YouTube channel name. Yeah, I got this idea by Jay Ducker, which is right here. My battery died. I went to a concert yesterday. So yeah, so I had some footage from yesterday that I have to edit today. But anyways, his video idea was 5 reasons to choose Fujifilm, which was pretty cool and pretty interesting. So this is my take on his idea. I'll leave his channel in the description below. But yeah, but those are basically why I chose Fujifilm, and most likely will continue with Fujifilm. I know I am looking to upgrade my camera, and unfortunately I don't think the next camera I'm gonna get is a Fujifilm camera, because I am in the concert photography and videography line of work, so I do need a camera with a full frame sensor that allows more light to come in. And as well, I need reliable autofocus, because the SS10 is an amazing camera. I'm just pushing the ISO to the max and I keep missing my focus, but I really like shooting with this camera and it's completely unbeatable. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys consider picking Fujifilm, because honestly, it helps me be a bit more creative. It makes me feel more relaxed and not so tense whenever I shoot with Fujifilm. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the way the camera looks. Maybe because it's how the camera brand represents itself. Or maybe it's the creative people in the Fujifilm community that makes it seem like, hey, just have fun with this camera. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.